You are joining us for the deep dive on what was, I think we can agree, the biggest statement game of the European season so far.
Oh, absolutely.
This week delivered a Champions League clash of just absolute titans, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich,
Mhm.
a really high-stakes meeting between the only two teams left in the competition who had, a perfect, unbeaten record in the league phase.
And that's the critical context, isn't it? This wasn't just another match.
Yeah.
This was a litmus test. I mean, Arsenal's own manager called Bayern the best team in Europe,
Right,
which that just immediately raises the stakes.
for sure.
So I think our mission today is to really dissect how Arsenal pulled off this resounding 3-1 victory.
And what it all means.
Exactly. What this statement win proves about their maturity, their depth, and, their tactical evolution this season.
Okay, so let's jump right into the narrative of the game. The result, 5 wins from 5, top of the table. That tells one story.
Inflicting Bayern's first loss of the season in any competition.
Right, but the actual flow of the match was, well, it was a fascinating curve.
It really was. The first half was that classic, tight, high-intensity European battle. I think Harry Kane called it a good battle.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it felt fairly even. But Arsenal, they landed the first tactical blow around the 22nd minute.
And it came from a place we were getting very familiar with.
A set piece. Of course it was.
Jurien Timber, a header from a pinpoint Bukayo Saka corner. It's a strength we have to come back to, that dead ball dominance.
Definitely. But Bayern didn't flinch. Just 10 minutes later, they hit back with a goal of just pure individual quality.
It was magnificent, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Joshua Kimmich with this beautiful long ball. Serge Gnabry controls it perfectly and then sets up the 17-year-old Leonard Carl.
Who just smashes the volley. Incredible composure, Bayern's youngest ever UCL scorer.
And importantly, that was the very first goal Arsenal had conceded in the competition all season.
A big moment. It showed Bayern could still get through that near-perfect defense.
Exactly. You go into the break at 1-1, and you're thinking, okay, the second half is going to be tense, tactical attrition.
But that is absolutely not what happened. Not at all.
It was night and day. A radical shift. Arsenal came out with so much more intensity, more purpose.
They just overwhelmed them.
Completely. Vincent Kompany was pretty candid after the match. He just admitted his team didn't come out at all.
And you could feel it. You could feel Arsenal sensing that weakness and just, turning the screw.
The word steamrolled feels about right for those 45 minutes.
It does. And this is where we really get to Arsenal's new superpower. The thing that sets this team apart from previous versions, it wasn't the starters who won the game. It was the finishers.
Exactly. Their squad depth was the ultimate difference maker. When the game was tight, Arteta could look at his bench.
You can see a row of top-tier internationals.
Right. And they didn't just maintain the level, they raised it, they increased the tempo. Just look at that goal in the 69th minute.
Pure substitute magic. Noni Madueke, his first goal for the club. A massive moment for him.
And the assist came from another sub, Riccardo Calafiore, who just whipped in this wicked low cross, impossible to defend.
And then, just 8 minutes later, the third goal arrives. The one that completely broke Bayern.
And this one showcased their lightning speed. Ebreki Eze starts a rapid counterattack from deep.
And Gabriel Martinelli capitalizes on, what was Manuel Neuer doing?
It was an extraordinary error.
Yeah.
He was so far from his net.
So far, but Martinelli still had a lot to do.
He did, but he was so calm. Just slotted it into the empty goal.
But let's pause on the management for a second, because this is what really signals that shift in mentality for me.
The Saka sub.
The Saka sub.
Yeah.
Arteta takes off his star player, his most reliable weapon, while the game is still level at 1-1. Just to bring on Madueke and Martinelli for tactical reasons.
It was breathtakingly brave. For years, taking Saka off in a tied, high-stakes game would have been unthinkable.
Completely unthinkable. The team relied on him.
But this time, it wasn't a move of desperation. It was a move of tactical luxury. It shows he trusts his depth completely.
He sees the bench as a tool to win the last 30 minutes, not just hold on.
And that's the mark of a truly elite, complete team. That flexibility.
Which gives them so much versatility. They're not a one-trick pony anymore.
Not at all. We saw 3 completely distinct ways they hurt Bayern.
And the 3 goals demonstrated it perfectly.
Exactly. First, you have the set-piece dominance. Timber's goal was their 10th from a corner this season. That's not an accident.
Right, it's foundational. Then the second goal?
High press and transition.
Yeah.
A high turnover, capitalizing on a mistake. Pure pressure.
And the third?
Rapid counterattack. Martinelli's goal. Just raw speed punishing a mistake.
So if you prepare to stop one of those, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to the other two. It's a tactical nightmare for opponents.
Declan Rice said it perfectly, didn't he? He talked about all the firepower coming back from injury. Martinelli, Ødegaard, Madueke.
And he said, you're going to see a different Arsenal that can win in any context.
Any context is the key phrase there. That's the goal.
Speaking of midfield, we have to pivot to the engine room. Declan Rice was, unequivocally the player of the match.
Outstanding. Just outstanding. He said afterwards he was playing the best I've ever felt.
He was everywhere, and his role seems to be evolving.
It is. He credited his chemistry with Martin Zubimendi, calling him Spain's number 6. He said having Zubimendi there gives him the license to stay higher up and, dominate.
He wasn't just defending, he was driving the attack. He just ran Bayern's midfield into the ground. And this victory, it really does feel like it smashed a huge psychological barrier for the club. They have a history of, faltering in these big moments.
He confirmed it. He said the mentality has been different this year. He pointed to the fact that the team has a lot more leaders now.
It's more of a collective accountability.
Right. And Arteta backed that up. He said, this win will bring more confidence and more trust. It's the kind of result that changes what you believe is possible internally.
So if we pull back from the emotional side and look at the tactics, it was just an incredible chess match.
A very high-level chess match.
The game was defined by this trend we're seeing everywhere in elite football. Aggressive man-to-man pressing structures.
It's all about eliminating ambiguity. Instead of marking a zone, you're responsible for one player. The goal is to suffocate them, force turnovers high up the pitch. Both teams did it.
So the big question is, if everyone is locked into man marking, how do you break it?
And that's where Arsenal's genius came in, the counter tactic, extreme rotations.
So explain that for the listener. How does that work?
Okay, so if Diogo Upamecano is marking, say, Gabriel Martinelli, and Martinelli suddenly drifts from the left wing into central midfield,
Upamecano has a choice to make.
a horrible choice. Either he follows Martinelli into an area he shouldn't be, leaving a massive hole behind him,
Or he tries to pass him off to a teammate.
which reintroduces the very ambiguity the system was designed to eliminate. It causes confusion.
So all that movement we saw, timber wide, a midfielder dropping deep, it's all a deliberate plan to drag those markers out of position.
Precisely. And in that second half, Arsenal's rotations were just masterful. They forced players like Upamecano into these terrible choices over and over, and company side just couldn't cope.
That's why it felt like they were steamrolled. It was a tactical dismantling.
It really was.
Now, let's look at it from Bayern's side. Company admitted Arsenal deserved it, said his team lost energy, and exposed ourselves a little bit too easily.
I think their biggest failure, beyond the tactical side, was just how they let Harry Kane be neutralized.
The stats are incredible.
0 shots, only 2 touches inside the Arsenal box all game. For a striker of his quality, that is.
That's a lockdown, a complete lockdown. How did they manage it?
It was the intensity of the defense. They forced him to drop deeper and deeper into midfield just to get a touch of the ball.
He ended up playing like a deep-lying playmaker instead of a number 9.
Exactly. It's a masterclass in taking away your opponent's main threat.
And what other weaknesses did Bayern show?
The lack of depth was glaring. They were missing Musiala, Davies, Luis Diaz. Company said their bench was thinner, and you could see it. They had no answer for Arsenal's subs.
And you can't ignore those individual errors.
Not at all. Neuer's aggressive positioning cost them the 3rd goal. It's a calculated risk he takes, but against that kind of speed, it's catastrophic.
And Upamecano had a really rough night.
An awful night. He was losing duels, losing possession. He was directly involved in the build-up to the 2nd goal.
And we have to circle back to the set pieces. That was their 5th goal in a row, conceded from a dead ball situation.
That's not bad luck. That's a structural problem. It's a vulnerability that everyone will be targeting now.
The one bright spot for them, though.
That kid, Lennart Karl, he looked like their brightest spark. Scored a beautiful goal, showed real composure. A talent to watch.
Okay, let's put this all in context. This huge win falls right in the middle of a defining week for Arsenal. They just won the Spurs derby.
They deliver this monumental victory against Bayern.
And now they face Chelsea this weekend. 1st versus 2nd in the Premier League.
And that Chelsea game is a completely different kind of test, a different tactical puzzle.
The hype is already building. I've seen some people suggesting that if Arsenal win this weekend, the Premier League race might be all over.
I know, it's hyperbolic, but it speaks to the momentum they have. That feels like they could blow everyone away.
It feels a little premature to say that, no.
Oh, it is, for sure. But momentum is a powerful thing, and the confidence coming out of that squad right now must be immense.
But Arteta will not be letting them get complacent.
No chance. He immediately shifted focus to Stamford Bridge, saying every game requires something different. He knows Chelsea's a different beast.
And it really highlights the contrast with other teams. Look at Liverpool, struggling badly.
That stat is unbelievable. Losing 3 straight games by 3 or more goals for the first time since 1953. It just shows how quickly things can unravel.
Arsenal are on the complete opposite trajectory. They have the depth, the tactics, and now, it seems, the mentality. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? I think the key takeaway is that Arsenal have finally acquired all the pieces. Elite depth, real tactical versatility.
And that mental fortitude.
Right. So the question isn't whether they belong with Europe's best anymore. The question is, who can actually slow this machine down?
And for me, what's truly fascinating to take away from this is the technical lesson from that second half.
The arms race.
The arms race. Between that aggressive man-to-man pressing and the intelligent extreme rotations designed to break it, that tactical battle for space, that's what will define elite football for the next few years.
And we just saw the blueprint.
You just witnessed the laboratory test for the future of the game, and Arsenal came out the clear winner.
We hope you feel thoroughly well-informed and perhaps a little excited about the technical chess match happening at the top tiers of football right now. We truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend this time with us, engaging with this material, and expanding your knowledge base. We will see you next time when we crack open another fascinating topic and deliver those crucial insights straight to your ears. Until then, stay curious and keep seeking those aha moments.